Hello, my name is Lisa Shaw, and I am going to show you how we use Embrilliance Essentials. In today's project, we're going to create this nice little layout for a fall design using Merge Designs and BX fonts. Now, the first thing you want to do when you are creating something for a project on something that is a fixed size is to measure. So before I started, I measured my embroidery area and know that it is 150 millimeters. I'm also not going to hoop this. I will be floating it in my embroidery floating it on my hoop when I go to the embroidery machine. So we need to keep these things in mind. First of all, the measured size of the embroidered area and how we're actually going to be stitching it. Now let's pop on over to the software. I'll show you how easily we can create this design layout. Here we have our finished design. You can see that we have in our object pane two merge designs and our lettering object. Let's start from scratch with an empty design page and show you exactly how easy it is to create this layout. The first thing I need to do is to install my BX fonts. Now these have been downloaded from Linny Penny. This is where they're from, and they're the two color ribbon BX. So first thing I need to do is unzip them, select them all four of them at the same time because I want to install all of them. Left click, hold, and drag my mouse so that they go from my Finder or Windows Explorer window onto the center of the hoop in my program. As soon as my mouse cursor is on in that hoop area, I release my mouse button and we get confirmation screens saying that each one of them have been installed. Since we dragged over four of them, we have to click OK 4 times so that the font is installed in the program. And it's as easy as that. To verify or to start using my font, I need to go and click on my big letter A, which is my lettering tool. And in the lettering properties pane here, make it a little bit taller, I am going to go to the font pull down menu, scroll down until I get to the fonts by Linny Penny, because these are the ones I have installed. And they're here at the bottom, my 2-color ribbon font, which is 0.75 inches. It automatically changed my block font ABC into the selected BX font. Easy as that. Now, I am going to be creating multi-line text that says Happy Fall Y'all. So instead of using single line text, which is where I am in by default, I'm going to click on the multi-line text option, which opens up a different dialog box. If you notice, the text box is much larger, which allows me to create multiple lines of text. So I'm going to select my ABC, type in Happy, hit the return key on my keyboard to get to the next line, type in fall, again return it, and then type in y'all, which is Y''ALL. Once I have my 3 lines of text typed in, I'm going to click on the set button. Now, this puts in the text that we typed. But if you happen to notice where it says y'all, there is no apostrophe. When you type using ABX or any of the fonts that are in the program, to see the characters that are available in that font, you're going to want to click on the information button, which is located to the right-hand side of your font pull down. When you choose that, it shows all the characters that have been mapped and are available in this font, and you'll notice there is no apostrophe. However, there is a comma. So we can use that and create our own apostrophe. So I'm going to click OK to close that dialog box, go back into my text and type in a comma as opposed to the apostrophe, click set, and there you have on your screen, you'll see we now have a comma that's listed here. Now with all the lettering, all the fonts that are installed in the program, you have adjusters. So if you want to adjust spacing and make the letters closer together to connect, you can use the slider bar here. Now this moves them all the letters together. So each one, it doesn't have any individual controls. Individual controls are done by the center selectors on each one of the letters. So if I click on the center selector of this letter H, left click and hold, I can move this to the side because I think that's where it needs to be for this particular letter. The same for the capital F. I think it needs to be a little bit further away and a little bit taller, and the small letter L needs to be a little bit further away so that the connectors adjust the way I see fit. Now, once you have your words set up, if you use the bottom selector, for example, this one here, whoopsie, let me click on the H again, put my mouse cursor on the bottom selector. This lets me move the entire word together, so I don't have to worry about moving each individual letter. I can move the whole word by using the lower selector. Let me finish up with this, the y'all. I'm going to move my comma to become a flying comma or an apostrophe up to the top. Going to move this second L further over to the right hand side. Maybe move up the other L so that it is up a little taller, and adjust. And you can completely adjust all the lettering in your design just as you see fit. Super duper simple. Next, I might want to change some of the colors of this font because they are two colors, but I want them to be a little bit more random than they show up with typing. So for example, I'm going to click on my letter Y here, and it is green and brown. And you can see that shown up here in my color chip list. If I click on the green, this opens up my thread dialog box. Now, as you notice, since I've been working in this, I have it set to palettes. Normally when you click on your color chip, it automatically goes to threads and lets you scroll through and choose any of the threads that are in that particular family. But if you go and select from the view menu, this allows you to choose a color that already exists in the design. So if I choose deep rose, which that will coordinate with one of the other colors that's currently in use. I can choose the letter A and have it change to something else, such as vermilion. Click OK to close that dialog. And looking at this comma here, I could change that to a dark brown because I want it to match the rest of the outline. I think it would look better that way. And maybe I will change my Y to a different color. You can go through and choose any colors that you want, play with your design, create it exactly how you want it to look in your software. That's all a creative choice as we go, but now you know how, and it's so simple to do. Next, I need to merge in my designs to create the sides of the foliage. To do that, I'm going to click on the Merge Stitch File button here at the top, and this opens up a dialog box that lets you browse to the location on your computer where your files are currently located. So mine happened to be on my desktop in a folder called Linny Penny Project, and in this folder all the little subfolders which all the design formats are listed. I happen to want to work in the PES format, but it doesn't matter which format you choose. All the different sizes are available. I am going to select the 4x4 because that fits, and I'm going to choose import. This brings my foliage in on the center of my hoop, and I'm going to position it here on the left-hand side. Now, I could go in and merge in another design from the other side, but I'm going to show you a trick. I want to use this exact same one, copy, paste it, and flip it and put it on the other side. So while it's selected, I'm going to click on copy. Go right next door and click on the paste button. This puts another copy right on top. In fact, you can move it off to the side if you want. Now, I want it to be a mirror image, so basically to frame it on the other side of the lettering. So while it's selected, I'm going to go up to my menu buttons here where it says flip horizontally, choose that button, and now I can have it and move it over to the other side of my lettering. How easy was that? Now, one thing, I'm pretty darn close to going off to my machine, but there's a few things I need to check. The first thing is I remember that my measured area was 150 millimeters wide. So I have to make sure that on the bottom on my taskbar here, the width, which is 136, is well be inside that 150 millimeters. That gives a little bit of margin on the sides. The next thing I notice is that the number of unique colors, which is 6, and the number of color changes is shown on the far right-hand side. So there's only 6 colors in this design, but 36 thread changes. And I think we can probably compress that into fewer thread changes just to make things easier for us. There's not a lot of overlapping in this design. In fact, there's none except for a few of the letters. So that changing colors and sorting them is not going to be a problem. So in Essentials, we have this feature called Color Sort. It is located under the Utility menu, and you can choose to color sort your design. When you choose that option, it brings in your dialog box, and it tells you how many colors it's going to be able to reduce it by. Now, it's a smart color sort. It is, if certain colors need to be stitched first, it's going to remember that. So we just want to verify what it has done. While it's being sorted, after it's being sorted, in order to see how it sorted the colors, I need to go to New View. Once you have a new view, you basically have a new design page that is open. And now you only have one design shown here. You don't have the lettering and you can't move things around. You just have your one design that's sorted. And this allows you to see each of the individual colors as they're stitched in this design. At this point, if you wanted to manually move them around, for example, have this brown, it's stitching after the lettering, maybe you want to stitch it at the end of the design. You can easily select it and move it down to stitch at the very end. The software gives this to you as a starting point. And for a more detailed explanation on using the color sort, please check out our YouTube channel. Under the Essentials playlist, there's a video that covers color sort from start to finish. From here, I think I'm ready to go. I have 6 unique colors. It has 8 color changes. I'm ready to go to my machine. I've already said that I'm going to float my design on my placemat and stitch my design on it. I'm not going to hoop this. So when I have my stabilizer hooped in my hoop, I need to attach this. Easiest way to do that is by using a basting box. So I'm going to again go up to the Utility menu, choose Base Design. This will allow or will put in a basting box that's going to stitch first. It will attach my placemat to my stabilizer that has been hooped so that I can stitch out the rest of my design without having any worry that the item is going to shift. Now all I need is to save my stitch file. Oh, I forgot I needed to print a template because in order to make sure that I have it perfectly placed, I need to print my template, and that is done from the File menu. Choose Print. This opens up your printing dialog box, and your first page will be your actual size template that you can trim around. Use this to mark your placemat. Now, just remember, if you have specific questions about using any of the features, for example, how to use a printed template, or the color sort, or saving your stitch file for your embroidery machine, the Embrilliance YouTube channel covers all these topics in specific detail. Not just one big project. It is each individual item is covered in detail on our YouTube channel. So please make sure that you visit it. That I will put the link. You're watching this video on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe to our channel. Go to the Essentials playlist, and you'll find videos on each one of the functions in the program. Thank you for taking some time to watch this video with me, and hopefully you enjoyed this quick project using Embrilliance Essentials.